Welcome to the Properties to Profit podcast. I'm Michael, your host. Excited to share with you my journey from a six-figure job to building a successful real estate business. Each episode will explore various aspects of real estate investing, from wholesaling and flipping to managing rentals. I'll share the lessons and insights I've gained, aiming to help you avoid mistakes and achieve your financial goals. Expect guest experts, valuable tips, and practical advice to guide you on your own real estate journey. Thank you for tuning in. If you find any value in this podcast, please subscribe, share, and follow me on social media. Let's turn properties into profits together. What's going on, guys? Michael here with Properties to Profit. Welcome back. I'm your host, and I'm the founder of Oasis Home Buyers. We buy distressed properties and we turn them into rentals or flip them or even wholesale them to other investors. So on the show, I'm going to break down how I'm growing my real estate portfolio, how I'm flipping houses, and how I'm finding other investors' wealth, whether that's through they're investing with us and we do all the legwork, or we're getting them a deal and they're going ahead and doing the legwork. Maybe they have a few rentals of themselves. Maybe they have 100 rentals themselves, or maybe they're flipping houses and this could be their first flip. Numerous people get their first flip, or maybe it's their 1,000th flip. We have people who do that as well. And so this is going to be more of a sales directed podcast, I think. And so what I'm going to talk to you about is what do you do if you want to sell more? And my frameworks here too, but behind this. And what I'm going to tell you is there are multiple different ways to do this. I don't know if there's a perfect way by any means. I'm just going to share with you what I do here, right? And so I think a lot of times in the sales game, people are hesitant to close. And what I want to talk to you about is what happens if that's the case and you don't resolve this. And here's my framework behind it. So I know a buddy who just reached out to me, and he's like, here's where I'm running into issues. I'm giving them a price, and they're just coming around and telling me that, hey, they went with someone else. And I'm like, okay, why? He's like, well, they're just shopping my offer. So I said, okay, great. So what's this kind of look like, guys? Well, in our industry, you're on the phone with them. You're sitting down with the seller. They've got a property. They need to sell, right? They're playing hardball, right? They don't have any issues. The foreclosure is not that big a deal. The credit card's not that big of a deal. The divorce isn't that big a deal. You've done the hard work, got them to open up about all these things. You know all those pains, right? And then what do? We say something along the lines of, well, let me go talk to my team and I'll call you tomorrow. Well, let me give you the price and I want you to think about it and let's talk tomorrow. Or if you're in a different industry, it looks like I'll leave you this quote and I'll follow up next week. Let me know what you want to do. And when that happens, the clock starts to tick, guys. You just gave the seller a chance to shop your offer to every competitor in the market. And most of the time I found out they will. And unfortunately, there are some people who aren't going to be as operationally sound as you and be able to follow through with those offers, or they're just not going to, they're going to leave the customer in limbo and not fulfill on the customer satisfaction side the way that at least my company can. And so here's why I don't leave without a deal. This is how I operate. And this works for me and my company. You have to do what works for you. If I'm going to take the time to really talk with the seller, if I'm finding out what their emotional pain points are, and if I'm doing the math on this, running comps, talking about the repairs, and I've got their full attention and right there in front of me right now, then I'm going to do everything in my power to close that deal right then and there on that call in that same appointment. I'm not going to set up another appointment. I'm not going to take it back to my team. I'm going to know what to do and I'm going to do it. And what I found, and when I don't do that, someone else just closes the deal. And I'm just giving these investors an easy layup. I've done all the hard work and I don't want that to happen. And here's the truth that I think most people don't want to hear. Both strategies work. You can leave a quote and hope they come back to you. There will be deals found that way. You can follow up a week later and you'll still land the deal. But what I found, the person who closes first usually wins. The person who can get them emotional, because that's how we all make decisions. When you realize that people make emotional decisions, that they don't think logically to make the decisions, they make emotional decisions and then they back it with logic. And every time you let them go, and they think about it, if they think about it looks like this: calling the seller, calling the other person whose ad they saw after yours or before yours or during yours. If you're like me, you run through a TV provider and they're calling two other home buyers to get them on TV. Mike's doing well. That's what's happening, right? It's the truth. That's how they make their money, right? They're not selling you some applesauce that no one else can get. Everyone else can do what you do. So they're calling their brother-in-law, see what they thinks. They Google we buy houses and they fill out 5 or 6 forms. They want to get everyone's offers right then. And at that point, you just become a random number in their cell phone because they didn't even save you. And it just turns into a headache for all involved. And so my framework and I'm going to close right now. And here's how I structure that conversation, whether it's on the phone or face to face. It works either way. One, I'm gonna build connection fast, and I don't rush. I don't want to waste time. At the same counter end of that, I want to find out why they're selling. I want to know what's bothering them at night. Is it the foreclosure? Is it the inheritance? Is it the divorce? I want to know if it's a vacant house that issues keep aligning or coming up. We all know that happens. Shoot, I'm in real estate and I have vacant houses that cause me issues. And when they start to open up, that's when you know that you have the opportunity to close if you keep doing your job right. And I straight up tell the seller up front, like, hey, if I'm going to get my team to give an offer today, we're going to go ahead and move forward. And I get their buy-in up front. And if I can help you today, that'd be great. And if it works for both of us, we'll move forward. And if it doesn't work for you, then I don't want to waste your time. And I know there's other people you can call too. That sets the tone that, hey, we're having a serious conversation, not a price check. Are we close or anything like that? It's like, hey, I want to get this thing done. And then, as we know, throughout the process, objections are going to come up. Most people don't want to handle those objections. They want to set down the phone and figure out what's going on and try to get back to it. No, that's not how it works. You're going to get a little of a pushback in a sale. A no means the conversation's just starting. When they tell me no, I'm going to dig in and figure out what's really going on because I know there's something here that I don't understand. When they need to talk to the spouse, I'm asking, what do you think is going to come up when you guys talk to the spouse? Have you guys talked about it? What's their biggest concern? When they tell me they need more money, tell me more about that. What do you plan to use the money for? How's the money going to help you? What are you comparing it to? I don't dodge the objections. I handle them because I'm a firm believer that if you leave an objection untouched, at the end of it, when you're negotiating or building a price, you're going to turn into a bomb. And a bomb at the end of its fuse is never a good thing. So handle that objection now, upfront, box that objection, go through that framework. And once you've done all that, you got to ask for the commitment. You've earned their trust. You've got them to open up. You've handled all the objections, asking them if we could solve all these problems. You have to ask, would we move forward? Don't be afraid of the uncomfortable pause. Most salespeople have the gift of gab and they're going to continue to talk here. But remember, silence in communication adds a lot of pressure to both you and the customer. Remember, you do this every day. You can deal with pressure, but it's solutions focused pressure. Once this is done, they're going to be in a better situation dealing with you than potentially your customer. And you need to have that great of an operation on the back end. So, you guys know why this works? Because when you talk to a seller, especially one in distress, that first conversation is typically the peak emotional conversation they're ever going to reach about this. They've taken the time to reach out to you to solve this problem. That's the moment that they're the most honest, the most motivated, and most open to change. If you let them off the hook, you're letting logic creep in. And logic is the enemy of motivation. We think leaving them a quote is being respectful. I think it's just opening the door for someone to come in and steal your deal that you've put work, time, and energy into. I think it could cause chaos for the sellers. In my industry, it's not regulated. Anyone can come in and anyone can lock them up and not be able to fulfill that promise, even if it's the best deal ever. Is that what you want to be known for? Is that what you want your company to be known for? That You let other people steal these low-lying fruit that you've already done the work for, and they can't give them the customer service that you can, and then they have a bad experience. They sold at a price that you would have made a lot of money at, and someone else got the deal because you couldn't close. That's not what I want to be known for. So, what do you do if you've been just leaving quotes and telling them to call you back and chasing people around? I think it's simple. Make a decision. Continue doing what you're doing. If it works, I know multimillionaires who do that. I do. They set up the second call. They're okay with it. They don't have any issues with it. Sometimes that is a great strategy, but you can't stop. You can't flip back and forth. Both of these are game of odds. I personally believe closing the deal on the phone the first time or in person will be the best odds. And that's for any sales situation. Doesn't matter what you're selling. So decide what you're going to do, then build out your script. Map out your opener, your discovery questions. What do you really need to know to solve your prospects' problems, whatever that is? The objections you're going to handle. We handle the same objections across all industries for the most part. And then figure out your close. Get it right. Dial it in. Make sure you understand it. Role play. Master it. Because reps equal results in anything you do. I don't care if you're the greatest salesperson ever. You probably are. But if you're that, you probably practice and you're good at handling high pressure scenarios. Remember, guys, stop apologizing for closing that. You're not bothering them. You're helping them. You're solving a painful problem. Own it and master it. Guys, if you take one thing from this episode, let it be this. You don't need to be slick in sales. You don't need to leave quotes. You just need to have the courage to close while you're on the phone with them, because that is when you have their attention. Everything is trying to grab our attentions. I just lost a deal, my salespeople, because they hired an attorney. What is that attorney going to do? Help them decide who's going to sell us, but they're going to make 10 grand? Attorney's charging them $400 an hour. And so I'm training my team to do better so we don't miss out on those opportunities. Here at Oasis, we're going to win because we train hard. If this episode hit home for you and maybe you're on a sales team that doesn't train, we'd love to have a conversation with you. You can follow me on Instagram, realestatemic02, and tell me you're looking for a sales job. We have sales reps who make it 10 to 15 and even 20 plus K. And this is a tough market. If you want to grow your sales team, I suggest you have your whole sales team listen to this so you can get better at it. But like I said, if you're a closer looking to join a winning culture, hit us up. We're looking for people who want to build the skill of sales, get better, help a lot of sellers, and be able to take home some of the profits we make off of these properties. So appreciate you guys checking in today. If you guys wouldn't mind leaving me a 5-star review wherever you listen to this, that would be great. It shows the algorithm that we're dropping good content. Let me know what else you guys want to hear. Like I said, I can't wait for the next episode. Thanks, guys. Thank you for listening to the Properties for Profit podcast. I hope you found today's episode valuable. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Follow me on social media for more updates and tips. Until next time, keep turning properties into profits.